I was, I don't know the word for it. I mean, when you walk multiple worlds or multiple realities, but your visage is exactly the same, and then you have to document something to not seem crazy, but to help the people that are trying to help you, to get them to understand. In the known and unknown universe, there's a one. It happens in the anatomical vortex of life and science. There are there's one which wraps itself around itself, which is what we speak of as an anon and a katon, or which is why Tonine and Catarina is how I explained it. If I had one, but it was a man and a woman wrapped around one another in a creation story, as a Catarina and an Tonine. That would be my 9-inch nail story in the generation of the 10, for those of you that keep accurate records. So I went to a meeting with my grandfather, Tonine. I don't know if you want to say it's a dream sequence. I believe I labeled myself as a war horse, W-A-R-H-O-R-S-E, being a cult for Tonine Cattaruzza was in Italy, Albania, and Yugoslavia for Mussolini. I said, if that's the case, he says, what do you think of Mussolini? I said, I'm mozzarella. He started to laugh. I said, if he's Mussolini and you have an opinion, that's because you have met him, you know things, this is your war, not mine. I said, I am Crown Royal. I said, I am the correspondent for Crown Royal. I do documents for the War Horse, for Warsaw in Poland, and for Hitler, and for areas in Russia. I said, I'm part of the Crown Royal family, and the Catholics, which is the royal crown of the kingdom of heaven. And that's where I said to Cattaruzza, I said to him, I said, Tonine, and I said, do you prefer Tonine or do you prefer Tonine? And he says, actually, I prefer Tonine. And I said, that's fine. I said, in English, it's 2-9. 9 is no in German. No is Italian for grandfather, yeah? And I said, that? And he said, yes. And I said, right. I said, okay, so as long as we have our linguistics between the two Crown Royals. Now, did you know that you came, you are part de Roya de Flippo, yeah? I said, you normally, in the town, it's Cattaruzza, and there's a few other names, De Paola, so on and so forth. He says, yes. How did you know? And I said, well, because, again, I am the Crown Royal, como se dice, stenographer, or stenographer, not the cartographer, that's the maps, but the stenographer, right? I don't know what you call the scribe. Scribe? So I did describe. I describe things in multiple languages and where the words come from. Yeah. For me, in Crown Royal, they speak of me, they call me a goddess. I don't know in your schooling, in your escuela, did you learn about the god, like there's the Catholic gods, yes, that's the one. But then with Julius and Augustus and Octavius Caesar, did you learn about the pagan system where they have the woman is the gods, and then I know in Romania and some of the outer areas from the Hungarian and the Ottoman Empire that they have taught such things about Alexander the Great and Constantinople. See? Or no? Right. And they said, well, they said, it sounds somewhat familiar, but I don't think they taught it in school, you know? And I said, right. I said, okay, so on your journey, perhaps I know there's so much sickness and death and war. I said perhaps you could ask and keep a theme to keep your ritmo, or not the ritmo, the spirito tu santi, yeah, the saints' spirits as you go marching in the war. Perhaps you could keep your spirits up, and you could ask around to document in your way not only the death, but to almost pray for the dead before and after there's a battle for those that you cannot save. And ask if they believe in one God or multiple God, or if they're even aware that there is a living God, which is what the Catholic Church is for. Antonin, did you know, I'm sorry, I apologize, Tonine, did you know that Cattaruzza, the cat, is the Holy Catholic? That's what the Crown Royal, the RC, Rosa Crucian, yeah, the Holy Crusades was over you and your family. Part of it. Part of it is also the Crown Royal being the bloodline of the seeds of what I just spoke of as the Caton and the Anon. You would be Antonine. You would be the male, the perfect male, in body, but in spirit. In Tedesco, it's Augusto. Then that's also August, but that goes back to the Tor and the infinity of the gods are always everlasting, world without end, and so on and so forth. So, did you know that the woman for which you choose, she's like an angel? Funny enough, I think that might be her name, Angelica. But in Di Filippo, which is also, but Cat, and then it's a Tartarus was in the Greek Homer and the Iliad when they were sailing the seas with Ulysses. They were headed, I believe, for Tartarus. I don't know how they wrote the book, but in the version that I had, it was towards Tartarus. Tartarus being Russia, the Russian Crown Royal Federation of the world of leadership. And then that is where right now, I believe, is Stalin. Mussolini, what did he confirm? Is it Stalin or is it Marx? Karl Marx? I don't know. Your history gets confusing for me, which is why, as the war horse, I'm doing the corresponding. I do have a British, or he calls himself British, he doesn't look British, and then he says he's going to be American. He's going to have American grandchildren like myself, so, and like you on Tonine, so that's why he is here, but he looks very Australian to me. I don't know why. So anyway... So, and that's right, I don't know, right, we'll call him Texas for the moment, because there's a pairing in English that goes with in America for our grandchildren. Oh, with some rocket shuttle to a moon that doesn't have to go anywhere. Alright, so, Tonine, and then Uta. Uta is a provincial it's a land parcel in, the stupa, which is no, not the Thailand, it is the children, they have very like white features like ourselves, but they have very dark skin, some not as dark, some like chocolate, but some like the caramel, like cafe latte with the panettone, when you put a lot of latte, a lot of milk, yeah, and you lighten it like that. So there's lots of different colors, but that's part of the Crown Royal's partnership with the world around us. But here's my thing. Did you, Antonine, you are a god seed, you are to give birth to a pagan god through the Holy Catholics. They're the Crown Royal, the keeper of the secrets and the ancestry, yeah? Did they contact you about yourself and your situation? because I can't believe that they would let you be just a medic in Yugoslavia and Albania and them not crown you in royal, since you are to be the bearer of the next gods of bloodline of Julius well, you Tonine, you're October, yes. So you'd be you'd be Octavia. Well, Octavia is a woman, so you'd be right. Octa. I don't know how to pronounce it. It would be something with oct for Caesar, because if I'm a goddess, I'd be Zarina, which is a Polish, but we had in Julius, in the forming of the Catholic Church, we had Caesar, the Caesar. Tonine, you'd be Caesar in your era, born 1910, 1911. You, in October, you are Caesar, you are Tsar of all of Europe. Did you know that? Right. I don't know if Mussolini knows it or Hitler, but I don't know how to get you acknowledged on the world stage, which is why I was coming to inform you, but also to ask if you had heard of such things. Right. So I know, I sound almost like a gypsy, which is not a good thing where you come from, but right, I have my tall, handsome British, going to have future grandchildren in America next to me, and he has to stay silent, just witness. He's my God's witness as a goddess in this era, since we have grandchildren about the same age. So let's see, what else do I have? Right, in Antonine, about, do you know anything, Svetlana Guerrera? No? That would be, right, that is actually one of my warhorse. I ghost write sometimes, and that is one of my names, so I just need acknowledgement of that. Let's see, how else did it go? I sat there. Oh, and you are a god. You are a Caesar. Did they teach you in your school in the Cadore, Venezia area? What is it, Alonso? Did they teach you there about the lambda and the secret sciences of the dark arts? Did you, as God, learn any of it? Because the reason why, the answer was no. He didn't even understand. He said the dark arts are very bad. That's what the church says. And I said they are, except you are Caesar, and there are other people that I have discovered in my crown royal status as goddess, where I have gone, and I have witnessed that they know more than you, and you are the god of the planet, and you carry the future god of the world, of the future woman god of the world in your genetic bloodline. Within your lifetime, she will appear. And we are having the gods. They build the future, and they keep the children of the world safe. So there is a problem that we are trying to fix within the Mussolini, Hitler, Stalin, or Karl Marx. I don't know who they put in charge. It's a big area. They might have two. I don't know. They might, sometimes, one man can't take the entire leadership. He has to have help in protecting his lands. So they may have had appointed two. Would have to check the Crown Royal records. But my point is that there are people that do not look anything. People in Russia, Di Filippo comes from Russia. So you can assume that your Crown Royal seeds are also like the people that you as Caesar are having a child of God in the future. The way the royals always worked was they would keep track of the other families and the names and their skins that kept the skins the color of the gods. So if whether it's Norway, Sweden, have you heard? I mean, right? I mean, I don't know what they call them in Italy, so I apologize. I try to stay Latin English. Yeah, that's my I'm Latin English. There's a word proper, but that gets very tricky, and then it turns dirty, like the soil of the earth. With linguistics and the hearing in the future if things go wrong. So there's people with they look white. They're not in Russia. Have you heard of the Mongols? Yes, they look Mongoloid. That's their ID. That's their you know how they give you the tags. I don't know if you have tags with their names. Right. That's how they keep track. Right. So they don't give them tags, but in my office they give them tags of Crown Royal, because they have a different face and they're not seeds of God. They're not star seedlings. They're not to know certain things. They are, I have to inform your Crown Royal seedlings partnership, guardianship with the world. I have to make documents to say that you, Tonine, you are not in a godly or a Caesar position within the war, and that nobody knows why. When this came to light and they were made aware. So the children of the Mongoloid, they are knowing more science, more right. Did you even learn science? Do you know what that is? Right. Okay. So like recipes, chemistry, alchemy. No, yeah, no. They're simple, right? Right. He said they were reading and writing. And they learned, good things is all he said. Just good things. I mean, that we're simple men, is what the group said that was there. I had other people to listen, to have documentation records. All right, so anyway, so I had to say the Mongoloid, same time, is in a different area that I, as Crown Royal Warhorse, have to document as well, because I have to be fair to everybody. But they are in secret, hiding from the rest of the world. They are causing massive hemorrhage and trauma. Like you get a little cut on your finger. Not a big deal, yeah? But you chop your finger off. No. Right, and then worse than that, they chop your arm off, and then you're now I can't paint, right? You like painting, right? Exactly. So you see, so there's different levels of trauma. Well, they're at a level of cutting off an arm. Antonin, you are the arm they cut off. They overtook the science and the dangerous dark arts, which they're not allowed to have because God said so, and they are hiding it from your Octavia Caesar status and your Caesar Italian Roman Catholic in charge of the Catholic Church. The secrets that they hide is the seeds that you are, and the goddess that you are to bring into the next two worlds. When you have a woman in your family from your direct, I call it electron transport, but that's science, from your creation, the first woman from you will be the goddess of the Caesar, but the Tsarina and the ushering in of the new kingdom for godly things. So currently there's a war within the world. You're in one area, but the real problem stems in the facially disfigured that are not breeding material for your granddaughter. They are in secret learning science and doing very dangerous things that are going to affect the future in the economy, in the shipment, in the traveling of the people. And also I have found I'm going to use you as my star witness and example, Tonine. You seem like an amazing Caesar. However, It seems that an educaton, right, because you're a cat, the level of knowledge that you as a god and a bringer of the seeds of God in the future need to know to protect the world, somebody is taking from you. And that is what I am trying to do now and going in. I own something called a scope because I'm watching you and your future daughter or granddaughter within the next few cycles to make sure that she is taken care of and acknowledged, because the world is growing very dangerously and there has to be a way of following the history of a bloodline into the future to make sure that the future is able to be explained to the people of the here and now. Yeah? Duh? All right. So, being that we are, some people might call our meeting a dream, right? I mean, if I am alive with you in this moment, but I am not of earthly place. I just walked to this spot in Albania, Yugoslavia, wherever we are, for this meeting, so I could meet you because you are a god and so am I. I just have different features at the moment that the resources that are available to me, because I have, as the one woman, I have to look over you and all your men in your party as you travel, but also other men elsewhere in Hitler, Stalin, Marx. There's lots of men in war, and they need to be protected. And I'm saying nothing about your side of things because I'm angry at their part of a kingdom that is not united with anybody but itself. It's a selfish fucking kingdom. That is my whatever. I find him in the future in the wrong way. It upsets Niklaus, but whatever. I call you hungry eyes. Alright. So, then this is the other thing. I just need to make a note, as you walk and you meet people. The Hungarian, I call my pal here, correspondent, that will be in when the lifetime of your granddaughter, he will be around still. He is a magic man. The hungry eyes guy, right? He is aware, or he will be aware of they say that the Huns, HUN, is the Mongol IDs. That I have never been able to confirm, that they got into the breeding cycles of the Hungarians, the Ottomans, Constantinople, where Alexander was great, and as in Caesar, the time of the Caesar, when we put together the Catholic Church, that my friend over here, his family of country and whatever in royal crown likes to protest a lot. The cats, especially the actual gods, with their protest church called Protestant. They're against the Antonines, being yourself Tonine Cattaruzza, since you are the next one to have a goddess. Are we clear? So, I call him heaven sent at the moment, since he will be in the future and not in the, and he's also in the past with me. That's how that works. I have to take certain witness that will be around. So, right, I think there was a Barsali in the circle of Yugoslavia, Albania, and one of the war buddies of my grandfather. Funny enough, in the wrong future, there's another upcoming of the war of Barsali. Nice man as well, but different than the one in Albania, Yugoslavia. All right, and so, and he's a next door neighbor. And then we've got the Mongoloid neighbor to the other side. Eventually, that becomes a problem. All right, so here we are in, one other thing I had to say, right, the Bizietica is one thing, where you talk, that's the gypsy talk, that's the gypsy talk, I don't talk gypsy, and then you have the, scucciadora, 1 minute you love me, 1 minute you hate me, I don't know why, Right? Yeah, well, that's one of the things of the Crown Royal that I have to investigate. Your son, well, you're going to have a son, and he is going to suffer from such a disease. Of 1 minute, he's like a switch, like a light switch, like on and off. I'm trying to fix that now for you as a parent, so you don't have a problem with him, and the goddess in the future doesn't have a problem. It's a ongoing rolling issue at godly things in departments of Crown Royal. All right, so let's see what else I need to mention. I think that does it for now. Right. There's something called a Stella d'Oro, right? It's an almond biscotti. Those are very popular. It's like an almond toast, I guess. Those are the words that I would use for them. They are a shade that's a little darker than my own. But they are absolutely, they're one of the most delicious biscotti you will ever have in America if you ever get there. It's one of the only things nice that they have. I don't really like America, ever. Not the way that they're building it at the moment. But that is what I'm trying to fix in the now and the future. And I have to take care of the children that are teaching themselves about Lambda that are stealing that information from the actual Caesar, which is Tonine Cattaruzza in the 1910 or 1911. Born October. Yeah. Let's see. That is my documentary from here in year 2020. And I had the actual meetings. It is like walking on a movie set. Which I don't even think that they had TV or movies then, so they did not know. But that is also how I did the Lambda meeting with the Mongoloids. I literally walked into their science laboratory. It was like an amphitheater, like a stadium, where they had chalkboards in the front. There was a group of scientists. If the chalkboard was here, yeah, the scientists were over here in lab coats in the corner with books. I called them medical books. And they had all of the symbols, the SPI, the PSI, the Lambda, there was Sigma. There was a lot of signals and symbols up there that they were not allowed to know. If Julius Caesar, they wanted to bring God into the world for the Roman Catholic and the Crown Royal, the bloodline, if they do not know the science, the high science, and are not brought into the royal family, why are the facially disformed figures that are zeros? Why do they know? Antonine is a 1. My friend over here that I meet in the future with the hungry eyes, he's a 1. I am a 1. These things in the Mongoloids, they are zeros. So why, when they are zeros, and believe it or not, what makes me different is Mr. Michael Hewson is a 1. I am a 1 with a 0 around it. That's what makes it different, and that's why acrylic in Russia has something separate, but the Latin American English does not know the names that they use. Why is it that the facially disfigured zeros, they're goose egg, they're nothing. They're flat. They're not to know dark art science, ever. It is not for them. It is not about them. And they mess with and make goddess a subject that they study. They're not gods. Who gave them permission to study a god and make a god a subject? They are not allowed with their eyes, with their fingers. They're not allowed machine lights. They're not allowed to know all the symbols. I said as much when I came to visit. I just walked through the wall, scared the hell out of them. And then they said, oh my God, you are a she. And I said, yes, I am. I said, I just had an interesting conversation I documented. While you have Hitler in the north, you have Stalin, and Karl Marx is the words I am getting in the Russia. And then you have Mussolini in the south. And all the white men don't even know who Antonine and Julius Caesar or Octavius Caesar even is. In the cat. The cat from Tar and Utsa. The one, the providential in charge of it all. And the one who is to bring the woman's seeds, which is myself. I'm mozzarella at the moment. kind and soft and bland of a cheese in a ball so you can see something? Why do you know lambda, sigma, and why do you know all these symbols? Where did you get them? Right, I know, you don't want to tell me anything. If I'm really God, I could find out on my own, and I will. The thing is that I have to be here in a moment looking at your ugly Mongoloid face. Because I have a Hungarian and an Ottoman war of two future possible husbands, thanks to you stealing all the dark arts and making me in the future a subject of yours, which you're not a god. You're not a god and you're not royal. So I am not your subject to study in secret hiding places. Yet that is what you make me in the future if we don't fix this in the now. And you don't acknowledge Cattaruzza. You're not to learn these things. So when they come in the future and they remove your women, your children, your scientists, they kill all of your scientists, your labs, they remove everything from your lands. Don't say I didn't warn you. I then turned around and I walked right back through the wall. They know the science exists. It does not surprise them. They just don't want to acknowledge it because they want to make myself and Tonine their subjects, where they make us into nothings and then they control the world from dangerous places that most people don't even know exist. So that is what my war horse, that's what I told Warsaw. That is what I told the Roman Catholic Church in the documents. I had a future issue that I was going to meet, maybe if things were still wrong and all things went in a different way, which was Michael Hussein. I call him, right, he's very handsome, I don't want to say chap, but then that word changed, so I'm going to say gentleman. Agent is what I would say on my behalf, since he serves in some uniform. I don't know where or what country. It doesn't matter to me. It's a U.S. red, white, and blue that serves me. So it's a Crown Royal issue that I have with one child from the orange and triangle and square who did nothing for my Drusilla. I'm Drusilla Caesar. That is my ghostwriter name for Svetlana Gurera from Albania, Yugoslavia, with Tonine, interviewing him as a correspondent in the Warhorse era, and then for the future goddess for Nicole Cattaruzza, which would be, and I said, do you like Nicole better or do you like Nicoletta? And he said, I said, for quantitative analysis, I have to give them an answer on my correspondent report. And he says, actually, I like Nicoletta. I said, I knew you would. I think that your children will, if she is not your daughter, then it will be your son's daughter. And that will mean that he will probably mess up. But you can call her that, and God will look favorably on you, and you will make me smile from far away. So he, Tonine preferred Nicoletta, and he is not Tony. That's to New York, Ton.